Hello, everybody. Welcome to Better Call Saul, Season 6 rewatch. Are you with me? There you are in the car again.
Yes.
So, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How about yourself?
Hey, I'm not doing so bad. I'm fine.
There you go. There you go. Now I can see you.
Oh,
Love
fuck.
that hat.
I had that overlay was over us, so I got rid of it. It doesn't matter. We got Better Call Saul up here in the corner, right hand corner.
Yes.
So,
Okay, cool.
are you having problems earlier, or are you just trying to get in your car?
No, no, I've been in my car. This is where at least how I might be able to see or participate in this show by doing it in my car.
Okay, I guess you could have. Okay, well, maybe next time I'll get in my truck and then we'll just and we'll just do it from the road. You know,
Yeah, the off road, but
yeah,
I'm
off road.
parked. I'm
Better call
safe.
Saul. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm safe.
All
I'm not
right.
moving.
Well, I just okay. Well, you want to keep your location, your bat cave, a little bit secret. I understand that. So here, hey, welcome to Better Call Saul, season 6 rewatch. I
Yes.
know that I know that we said episode 1, but we are going to go over hopefully a quick glimpse of season 5. But we make no guarantees how long that will last because season 5 is really an important season leading into season 6. Not saying 1 through 4 is not, but there 5 does really up the ante going into 6, which ups the ante even more. Wouldn't you agree, Jay?
Yeah, I definitely would agree. It really uh, picks up a lot of information that we'll know more about Saul and Jimmy and all the characters that's involved uh, for season 5 going into season 6.
Exactly, exactly. So we talked about this last night, so we maybe all talked out. So we'll try and get through this. Uh, so real quickly, season 5 starts out where Jimmy McGee has really gone for the Saul Goodman character. I mean, he's really incompetent. No one understands it, not even Kimmy, but he thinks he's on the right path. I mean, Jay, isn't that what he's trying? He's now invented himself as the actual Saul Goodman that we will see in the Breaking Bad series.
Yes, he's definitely maturing himself into that character when it came to the start of season 5. It's like we're really getting ready to manifest his idea of what his true self will be in that character, and as a lawyer, and not the lawyer in the past where he was more with the what you call it, the elderly, helping the elderly, but more into a different form of it now,
Well,
starting in season.
yeah, he does get caught in the cartel web, and that really, he's trying to do the right thing at this moment. He is not really actually gone bad, getting iffy, but he's
Right.
if we're correct about this, the cartel kind of makes him go into a way that he probably didn't want to go into. But when you have a gun to your head, what else are you going to do, buddy?
Yeah. Exactly. Very true. You can't you can't say no.
No, not to the cartel. You know,
No. No. Not at all.
especially to Lalo. We are not going to say no to Lalo. I mean, man, that the way.
No.
But oh, one more thing. We are not going
Mm,
to try to go past each season that we do. We're not going to try to reference anything else. We'll go back, but if we're doing episode 1, well, we're not going to try to go ahead. We're doing episode 2, etc. But we can go back further, but we can't go ahead. We'll try not to do that. I
exactly.
mean, Jay and I have gone through uh, 6 probably a couple times. Hopefully, I
Mhm.
don't know, but a few times maybe before we started this show. Doesn't mean we know
Yes.
everything or caught everything, but we'll try our best. Back to season 5, yeah, and Kimmy. But anyway, well, I lost my train of thought. Jay, where do you want to go? I lost.
Oh no. 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 It's quite all right. It's quite all right. I think we're kind of going through the stages of the Saul Goodman character and working our way into the season. And for the recap, I think another thing that was mid or was talked about in season 5 was the creation of Gus Fring's, I guess you could say his idea for a meth lab, and the manifestation of it through season 5 was pretty amazing as far as knowing the backstory of that. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it was him trying to get that lab built and seeing the bare bones of it, and how and we finally we always knew the Germans were involved, but to know that the Germans actually helped build that thing. I'm not going to call them the Nazis, but the Germans did help. But we
Yes,
always knew there was a German connection because he used that big metro company or corporation over in Germany to get all the equipment he needed, and
hmm
and that helped him, kind of in a way, not know keep his equipment that he wanted off the off, out of the way of I guess out of the way of customs, because seeing all this crap stuff, what the heck's this for? But anyway, uh, it was it. But then Kimmy had a hard time getting on board with the Saul Goodman part of it. She did, but then she had her own crap going on because she actually she left the law firm,
yes,
and then Howard kept bugging her, making sure. Well, anyway, remember Jimmy was doing things to Howard with the bowling balls and the hookers because
yes,
he was mad at Howard, and he thought Howard actually he blamed Howard for some reason for killing his brother. And after
exactly.
that, okay, so then after that, he was done, and then Kimmy did what? I mean, after then Howard confronted Kimmy, right, Jay,
hmm Yes, that's right.
and wanted to make
And
sure. Go ahead, Jay.
no, I was just thinking that after that was kind of manifested, um, Kimmy was kind of upset with Howard, thinking that Saul or Jimmy was actually making her decide on these things and deciding on leaving the law firm and become just her own business, and without the big money. she she really thought, or maybe upset with Howard, that she can't really do things on her own without Jimmy being there to kind of give her that idea. Thought it was actually Jimmy was the one that gave her the idea to leave that and do the private, be private and just be her own business. And that was not the case. I mean, she is her own woman. She has been that character through the whole season. Is She had a lot of different things going on for herself, that she was her own person, and that's what I did like about Kim through the whole season, not just season. I mean, through the whole scene from 1 to 6, she was her own person. She didn't have no influence from Howard or Jimmy or nothing like that.
Exactly, and Howard also tried to warn her about Jimmy with all the stuff that he did with the bowling balls and the prostitutes, and I think that even Kimmy didn't like that. I mean, it might have been true, but Kimmy didn't like him going off on you don't want to hear bad things, and I think she probably thought Howard is really crossing the line trying to separate those two. Maybe she thought that he was trying to get a wedge between these two, so she would come back, and him acting like she didn't know what she's doing or couldn't make her own decisions. And finally, she says, I can make my own decisions. I don't need
Exactly.
you or Jimmy to do that for me.
hmm Yep.
So then,
Exactly.
yep. So then later on, when they're having dinner, and Jimmy's like, "Hey, well, so he Jimmy says they talk about what Jimmy has done, and then all of a sudden she goes, "Well, what's next?" Because Jimmy was
Exactly.
so.
Yeah,
What do you
Jimmy
think
was
about
done.
that? Jimmy said, "What's next?"
Exactly. She wanted to continue messing up with Howard and give her those little ideas of messing up his hair, or putting like bleach in his hair and all these other things to continue messing with him. And then she even had this weird idea of really making him into a bad person, because if she did that, he would actually the big I guess the law firm that they were doing a case on would actually get some money, because it was been so long that they never got their money. She would think that putting him into like out of practice would maybe help to get the money from that big case. And Kimmy was like, maybe we'll just uh, mess him up.
Well, we have Blue Meth join us,
Oh,
but, but we're not there. But thanks for joining us, Blue Meth. How are you doing?
I'm doing real well. I just want to say hi. You're debuting your program, and I'm really happy to be here. I'm probably going to be listening in for a bit, folks, because I have to catch up myself.
Well, that's good. And we cut it close, didn't we, Raj, with the other program?
Yeah, we did. That one, we may have beaten the record for Mercedes. I think we went 2 hours and 50 minutes with that guest.
Well, I'm guessing if it wasn't for this show, you'd still be going.
Oh, that probably.
That's too
at
bad.
the 2 hour mark, I was already worried about this, but like I said,
I was watching the clock too, but I was gonna put in the private chat room. Do you want me to cancel the program?
No. Anyway, so I don't want to take it away. I want to just give a quick
that's
shout
fine. I'm
out.
glad you joined us.
Aisha already gave a like to the program.
Yep,
Anyone in the
oh,
chat room,
thank you.
let us know who you are, where you hail from, and this is cool. I do want to let everyone know that this is a test bed to the rewatch of Breaking Bad, which will debut sometime after this one. So
yeah, we're kind of going backwards, but
hey, and to be
it doesn't matter because Better Saul Call is before, kind of before and after. So
So again, I don't want to take away
Actually
from
doing it the right way.
yeah.
So I'm listening. I'm a fan. I'm in, guys.
All right. Well,
right.
thanks, Raj. Blue Meth.
Thanks, Blue Man. You're awesome.
Yeah, I'm over here, Jay.
Oh man.
Am I looking the wrong way? Let me see.
Yeah, you
Right
are.
there?
That's at Richard.
Yeah.
Oh, I think because I have my mirror. I got my mirror wrong on me.
You'll figure it out.
Let me do it like this. That's you over there.
Okay. Do you know what's funny is when I'm doing the program, and sorry, we're getting all lame here, and I'm dominating, so I got to get out. I'm watching, and I will to myself start. You can barely see it on screen where I'll start pointing. I'm like, okay, right now I know where everyone is.
Yeah.
Well, when we lost our co-guest, he moved, and you could see me. I'm like, yeah, you're over there. You can see me do the whole. You saw that, right, Richard?
Right.
But I did the full swing around because I'm like, oh, he's not up there anymore. He's over there. It's funny. So it happens. Like right now, you're right next to me, Jay. You're over on the right.
Okay.
So that's good.
Perfect.
All right. We have several people watching the chat room. Folks, everyone, let us know who you are and where you hail from. This is the first episode of Better Call Saul Season 1 rewatch, right?
Yes. I don't see it on my end, so I don't see who's chatting or the comments on my screen. So
there are no comments yet.
No, but I think Raj says there's people watching on.
Watching. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see. You've got quite a few people watching already.
Okay.
Oh, I should have been brown meth. Duh.
What? Oh gosh.
That was stupid, huh, Jay? That was. You're like, all right, Raj, time to leave.
No, it's all good.
Brown meth? Okay.
Bean meth. There we go. Oh, there it is. You already have a comment
Aisha.
right there. Aisha says, do you know there's a bit of time lag between when you speak and your lips moving? Oh, is there a time lag? Because I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
Me neither.
It's you, Aisha.
Alicia, are you in Japan? I know she's in over in Europe, but anyway. Never mind. No one. Anyway.
Hope it's not for everybody. Is a delay.
Oh, that was disgusting. Sorry. I'm going to get some more coffee. I'll be back.
Okay.
And while we're at it, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you can catch each one of our episodes. Right now it's going to be weekly until we get to the end. Is that right,
Yeah,
Jay?
yeah, definitely. That's my goal, is to have it weekly, where we're coming and trying to discuss each episode. Hopefully, I mean, how things are going today. We'll see if we'll continue with season 5, going to season 6, first episode, and work maybe to episode 2 next week, or might be still in the middle of episode one of season 6. But we'll see. We'll see how things go as far as our discussions with the season 5, and also leading into season 6.
Right, right. So where should we skip to next, Jay? We
Uh,
covered the Kimmy wanting to cover, but you still want to continue with Howard, and that will continue throughout
yeah, he's
that
gonna be.
season.
Um, I think I put on a little note for myself with that, is that Howard in season 6 is, I mean, it's a target. It's target, uh, target through the whole episode. I mean, whole season really. He's the mark, I guess you could say, the mark for. I think it was. I would consider it was Jimmy was actually had the mark for Howard, and I think Kimmy kind of continued that lead into the to be for him to be continue to be at a mark.
Yeah,
Because like you said earlier, it seemed that it seemed like Jimmy was done. He was done with his point of saying that I really was mad with Howard, what Howard did, and how he treated his brother Chuck with the bowling balls and the hookers. But like we said earlier, I think Kimmy wanted to continue that marksmanship to get him more than just those two little antics that Jimmy put together. And
right.
Jimmy was surprised. It looked like he didn't. It didn't seem like he was into it. It seemed like he was done. He was kind of
Right.
finished with.
I guess if I was caught off guard too, that she wanted to do more, but she didn't know what
Yes,
had happened, what had transpired between her and Howard earlier. And
right,
what was
exactly.
great was that later they're in the bedroom, have it still going. Then what? And it's like interesting pillow talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have
It
to
sure
assume they
was.
had relations, and they still keep going at it. So, or at least she, and but so that so anyway, that's when Kimmy wants to continue with that.
Yes, and
And
I,
uh, go ahead, Jay.
no, I was just thinking. I think that kind of manifestation came up, and we're gonna and the main character for season 5 and going season 6 is Lalo, in the sense of them, their comfort zone was changed when they found out that the plan for Lalo to get him kind of iced or um, killed, that the cartel was planning to get rid of him, because it looks like, from what I've seen or noticed, it looked like Lalo was kind of going like on his own, and the only person that he had on his back was Hector Salamanca, where it
Right,
looks like he was kind of going with Gus. He didn't like Gus because he was doing his thing, and then Lalo really almost didn't even like Donnie Latios and everything because of other stuff. But it seemed like Lalo really just wanted to prove that something was going down, and Gus was doing something that was going to mess up everything for, I think, Hector. I think he was supporting Hector through all this. What do you think?
right. Well, Lalo did not trust the Chicken Man, Fringe,
No,
Gus Fringe,
no.
and everybody else didn't have had a problem at this point, but he just didn't trust the Chicken Man, and he wanted to have him killed.
Yep.
And the rest, and this is before they knew what Fring was up to and all that stuff. But the cash kept rolling in, so they were cool with it. But for some reason,
Mhm.
he kept telling Hector, I don't trust the Chicken Man, and we know Hector didn't like the Chicken Man either.
Nope, sure did.
He did
Plus,
not like
Paulo,
Chicken Man.
yep, the chicken man and their two brothers, and what Hector did to his brother was not cool. Not cool at all.
Whose brother?
With or I don't know if we consider his brother or maybe his friend when we're in the swimming pool. The scene with the
Okay,
swimming pool,
okay. I got the impression that they were a couple
maybe. Oh, okay, okay.
because I think
Yeah,
Fring,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, not. I think Fring was gay, and that was his boyfriend because that's why he took it more personally than
He did.
when he
He
got
really
killed. I
did.
mean, what? And they couldn't be like they could be brothers, but it can't go by skin color all the time. But I'm just saying there was a little bit more there than just being a brother. But I guess I see your point. They were called Chicken Brothers, but I don't think he had the same name as Fring either. I think he had a different.
No, I didn't remember. That's true.
And
Forgot about that part.
they could be, but you don't have to be. You can still be brothers from another mother, and then still call yourselves brothers. You know what? You know that. But I'm just saying.
Yes.
I just got there was more to it than they went. They had it. The way he kept talking about Fring and when they were younger, and I just thought, well, yeah. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think and that's why he took us. I mean, yeah, you still take it personally if it was your brother as well, but he really went after it. When they killed his boyfriend, and I'm going to say they were a couple, and that was his boyfriend,
I hear you.
and that started everything. That started his plan of. It took him years, but he was out. He, blood for blood. You know what I'm. As that series always said that the cartel went with it. The Sacamanos, whatever you got messed up. Blood for blood. Wouldn't you agree, Jay? That's when everything and Fring started his plan to make Hector's world crash down upon him. It might have taken him decades, but that was his plan at the time. And I think Lalo was on plan.
Yeah, it was.
So I mean, yeah, we can talk about Breaking Bad since that was, but anyway, I thought it was his boyfriend, and that's cool. So at the end, so and season, let's see, he got involved with the cartel with Lalo, and well, because they wanted to didn't he want to bail him out and get him out of jail? Is that how he got involved with the cartel?
I believe. I mean, for Saul, yes, but I think another important thing for with season 5, which was key too, and it leads into season 6 also, was the character Nacho, where Nacho was actually, I guess you could say, an informant for Gus Fring to help him to get information through the Salamancas, and then Nacho really. Honestly, Nacho really didn't like the Salamancas anyway because he didn't like Tuco at all. I mean, he really despised Tuco, and he also even despised Hector.
Who liked Taco? Or Tuco. Nacho and Taco, right?
Tuco.
Yeah, Tuco. But no, they knew that he was a time bomb. I mean, he was family, but still, he was okay. He was the time bomb. But like you said, Nacho was a double agent, and it turned out that he's going to be caught in the middle of all this crap, and he was, and also it was cool that we got to see some of Crazy 8, even though, and we see him, but we know that he's already an informant for the DEA, so
and we find that out.
He's playing both ends too, so there's a dangerous game for both of those characters that. We keep it, but we don't see a lot. He doesn't. Crazy doesn't get a lot of time, but we still know that he's in the room and he does get some lines, and we know what happened. Well, we know that he's a double agent too, going back to
and that little mistake that he made with the time when he hit that rain gutter and all that drugs came out, and the cops got him.
That was sorry. That was something else. Jay. Oh, call Saul fan. I didn't even think about that. That thank you. That's good, Jay. I like it. I do like that. So
very cool.
So he gets. So how did he get involved with the cartel then? Was it because Lalo was in jail, or was it before that? Because I know that Saul was hanging around with Lalo for a while.
I think so. I think Nacho had like a connection with Crazy Eight. I think they just were like, I guess, in the mix. I mean, I think almost like a character that goes around trying to go through and get the drugs and get the money and make sure that all the people below him will make sure they do it right and not do it wrong. And if you do it wrong, you got to get paid. I mean, you're gonna go through some stuff to make sure that you don't do it wrong another time. And I think that's what Crazy Eight and then uh, Nacho and not really Lalo. I think Lalo was a little bit above that. He really didn't do it. He just was an overseer with his
Right.
with,
Right. I know that. Yeah, Lalo was like the overseer, but so do we go where they want to get bail for Lalo when he got busted?
Mhm.
Because
Right.
that's another
Or
very
the murder.
important part of this series. If we're not skipping anything that in between the Howard hijinks, and then now we've got to go to another important part in 5 where Lalo's bail is set at $7 million cash.
Cash.
We're
Yes.
talking cash money, brother. Right?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yep.
How's it? And and Lalo like nonchalantly, okay, I can cover that.
Yep.
Right? That was like no big deal. Yeah, I got it. Well, okay, good for you.
Yep.
And,
No hesitation.
yeah, okay, whatever. It's like, really? All right. So he had Jimmy or Saul Goldman go get this money, and it's in Mexico. He has to go
Yes.
across the border to get this money.
To the two cousins.
The two cousins, the Silent Brothers, or the brothers with the skulls on their boots.
Yes.
And these no nonsense two brothers, you tell them to do something, they go and do it. I mean, not
Yeah.
anybody, but if their parents or whatever. The cartel says we need to do this. Well, they went and do it, got it done, and left. There was no hanky. There was no just they didn't talk. Only time we heard them talk was when they were children back in Breaking Bad. But somehow they just didn't want to. They never communicated again. We never seen them talk. But anyway,
No,
so
sure don't.
So Saul drives this piece of shit car into Mexico, and then
Thinking everything was gonna be cool. Thinking it was gonna be easy. I forgot the music he was listening to, but it was just really very cool and nonchalant driving up there. Everything's gonna be cool. Told Kimmy that don't worry. She knew what he was doing, but he was just saying it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be simple. I'm gonna get the money and bring it back, and
it's going to be simple. Oh, the worst thing you can say to anybody or think when you say that. Okay, well you're doomed. But anyway, Jay, he pulls up in the desert and he waits for the Silent Brothers, and then what happens? I mean, how does this thing go down?
It was I mean, I believe Saul was getting prepared and he was just saying, I forgot the Spanish word for lawyer. I'm a lawyer. Just saying it over and over again just to make sure that they knew who he was. And like you said, the Silent Bird just walked up with the 2 bags. Go ahead.
Roger, what is the Spanish word for lawyer?
Abogado.
Yep, there it is. Abogado.
Yes.
Yep, that's what he said. That's what he was saying to him. Yeah.
Yep, saying to him before they got there, he was just repeating over and over again to make sure that these the Silent Brothers knew who he was. And they didn't say a word. They had the 2 bags, right? Walked right in front of him and just dropped it right to his legs and walked away. And then Saul went into his car and drove away.
Well, the thing is that they dropped off the money and they just walked off and left. And Jimmy's like, okay, just walk off. I guess he was hoping he thought he might get a conversation from they're going to talk shit for a while, but no, they did the job.
Yeah.
And that's where they've always been. So, yeah. So this is, I mean, the thing is this getting the $7 million cash. He leaves, he drives off. He's, he's going back across the border and everything is going to be cool. But something happens on the way there, Jay. I mean, yeah, what?
Oh,
He gets ambushed, man. What the hell? These
yeah,
or 5 cars block him off, and he's in this piece of shit. And oh my gosh.
Oh,
Wasn't
he
he
came out
man?
like he was scared, like I would say he was peeing in his pants. Really, I mean, I could really tell.
Yeah.
Jimmy was just total, didn't know what to do, and he was still. I think he was still saying lawyer to the people, kind of just tell them, "I'm a lawyer, I'm a lawyer, kind of, I'm a lawyer." But they didn't. I mean, they actually went into there.
I don't think they cared too much. They didn't care.
No, not at all. They went in there and got the bags, and one of the guy pulled one of the bags and opened it up and look through and everything. So all that money, and then the thing that scared Jimmy, and I would have been scared too, is he did like this.
Yeah.
And Jimmy was like,
he didn't mean
that. Exactly.
Oh, that's miscommunication there.
It's like no. It's like no. And then all of a sudden that gun was right in his face. I mean, they showed it through the camera. The heartbeat. I would imagine whoever was watching that episode and watching it at the time, I bet their heartbeat was just beating so fast because that gun was like right there in his face, and all of a sudden, blood was coming out and on his shirt, and heard a shotgun, and he thought it was a shotgun that he was gone, but it was a shotgun of the other guy being gone, and all of a sudden, a sniper out of nowhere was sniping up all these guys out of nowhere. Just one shot and shooting everybody.
Yeah. Well, real quick, when they had the gun to his head, that point with the gun, it also the screen went black. So you thought maybe oh my God, he got shot. And then they cut to it, and then there's blood on Jimmy's shirt, and the dude just collapses. And that's when, the sniper man starts shooting everybody down, and because then the gun battle commences between one man and 5 people with semi-automatic weapons are starting to fire up, and Jimmy's trying to keep from getting shot for real.
Yeah, he was trying under the car and under all these other places. He was just trying to just survive. That was his whole premise. He was just surviving.
Yeah, so
definitely. And I love the title of this episode too, Bagman.
Yeah. So they're all shot, and the sniper comes down. We see his feet. He's walking up to Saul. And then we find out that, of course, who else could it be but Mike? Mike was the sniper. And
Mike was a sniper.
One guy did get away. Yep. So, and Jimmy was in shock. And, he couldn't tell Mike anything. Like, are you shot? Are you shot? And Jimmy's like, what the? He was, holy crap. And you can tell that, that was a good acting by Oldenkirk right there. I mean, he sold it, didn't he, Jay?
Mm-hmm. He did. He really did. He put that look of like total fear and shock of his life. His life was just flashing in front of him. I bet that's what that look that he had when he was laying on the car, and Mike was asking him those questions. He felt like his life is gone. Kimmy, I think the only person in his life that he cared and loved about, and he was thinking about that, laying on that car. And I agree, he did sell it, and I really believe that he was in total shock. He didn't know what to do. Mike had to really snap him out of it and get that yellow piece of crap car and drive off and try to see if they can take this money and go back and get the bail for Guzman. I guess you would call him Guzman at the time when he was in the court, was Guzman, aka Lalo.
Right. He had a different name when he was in jail.
Yes.
Sorry. And so so Mike, that usual, he just takes care of business, throws the money back in the trunk, shuts the trunk, they get in the car and they drive off. And right there. That okay, Mike took care of business. Now we're going to get back to the border. Now we're going to get delivered the cash. But
Exactly.
of course, in Vince Gilligan manner, something else has to happen, and the car breaks down. Jay, oh my gosh, the car breaks down. They're stuck in the desert. It's the alternator. And if you know anything, if that the alternator goes, you're done. There's nothing. There's no quick fix to that.
Yep, and I love the Mike's statement on it. He said the alternator was shot, and then he said literally, the alternator got shot, and it was he got shot from all that gunfight and everything, and they had to depart and push the car, and that's kind of leads into I would say this will be something maybe in the future. It will lead into Saul getting a new car and kind of lead into that because he's that yellow car from season 1 to season 5 was the car he had through the whole season, except when he took the job from the other lawyer company. He did get a customized car, and with that that cup that he had, where his famous cup, where the second class. Second lawyer, second greatest lawyer, and he tried to put it in this type of cup, and he actually didn't. Sorry about that. They actually
you're blocking up.
He couldn't do it.
You're blocking.
I know. There you go. Stop it. He was trying to put it into that that cup case, and it was that type of style of car didn't fit. So it was kind of funny how it was that, but. It was just interesting. That was the only time he had a different car. And then the car that he had to push this yellow car into that ditch was saying the old Saul was kind of gone because that car is gone and the new Saul is coming out.
Right. Well, okay. Well, now they're stuck in the middle of the desert still. They only got like several miles from the ambush site. And so they still had quite a... So this starts their journey, and they have to carry 2 bags of cash that are not light. I mean, I've never carried $7 million in cash personally. Have you, Jay?
No, no.
What about you, Brown Meth? Did you ever carry $7 million of cash?
Just short of. Yeah, when I played Monopoly.
That's a lot of Monopoly money. My gosh. This must be Monopoly, the millionaire version. But still, they're carrying. So they got to go across the desert carrying these bags. So now it's and earlier they showed Jimmy just drinking water, and washing off his shoe. Remember, he washed off his shoe with the water.
Yes.
Remember that when he is like. And that was foreshadowing that, he better conserve his water.
Yep. Like he had a little bit left. I mean, Mike was saving as much as he could.
Because, like you said, he's going to go down, come back, boom, boom, boom. But, I'm washing his shoe. Taking the time to wash your shoe in a dusty desert, I think that's just I don't think that's a losing battle. Wouldn't you think, Jay, if you're trying
I would say so, definitely.
Yeah, well, I've been in a desert, so it's like, okay. But anyway, so
and they had to get off the road because of the sniper. I'm not the sniper, but the one that was left over.
Go ahead, Brown Meth.
When have you been in a desert? Oh, thank you, Jay. Good move. When have you been in the desert, Mr. Ohio man?
Yeah, when I went to Arizona.
Oh, okay. All right.
Went to the Grand Canyon.
Oh, I'm impressed.
Well, don't be impressed. We went. I've been wanting to go for a very long time, so I went with my daughter. So we went. We took a father-daughter trip to the canyon and had a good time. And we were there for a week, and we flew to Denver, and then took another flight to Flagstaff, and grabbed the rental car and went up to the canyon. And we stayed in a tourist trap near the canyon. But I knew what I was getting into, but we didn't want to drive from Flagstaff to the canyon every day. So we just were there at that nearby city, which I can't pronounce right now.
Okay, I believe you. You were in the desert. Okay.
So, but I mean, not quite the desert. I mean, it was kind of a desert. It wasn't like Phoenix. If you go down, into the valley in Phoenix. That's where everything, because the weather in Flagstaff when we were there was awesome. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to stay here. But anyway, thank you for that question, Brown Meth. We like to know my travel, maybe I should be on that travel show, Travel Itch, and tell me I went one place once. Like, yeah, so what? So anyway, you go ahead, Jay. I lost my track of thought.
No. We're still in the process of the experience that Mike and Jimmy had taken that $7 million 2 bags of money down and actually do try to survive. And actually, one I was mentioning to there was one survivor that got away from the gunfight, and that's why they had to get off the road because they didn't want to be on the road where this guy could maybe find them and take them out because they didn't have a lot of guns. I mean, it was only Mike with his gun because he was the only one that knew how to shoot, but it was like a sniper gun. It's not like a regular gun. So they just was trying to avoid the people and everything. And during that time, it was just so from what that whole episode was just so rough to see two guys in that hot heat going through and dragging these bags and trying to get back home to Kimmy for Saul, and then for Mike, I would say it was his daughter and his daughter-in-law. I think that's what was such amazing to see on that episode of Bagman.
We have a comment here from Alicia, also known as Anime Girl. Paper and ink sure weigh a damn lot. 7 million is a lot of paper. So I'll take your word from it, Alicia. Maybe you have carried 7 million pounds. But I mean, not pounds.
Oh,
pounds.
See it through, Richard, please.
No, but not pounds. But she lives in England, so that would be pounds, as in money.
Uh-oh. Jay, what are you drinking?
It's Soda Stream. Where is it? Where's the little thing? Oh, there you go. Soda Stream.
Brought to you by not an advertiser, Soda Stream.
Soda Stream.
Yeah.
Cherry Coke. I mean, cherry Coke flavor that's actually actually water, but has a little bit of carbonation in it to make it yummy.
Yeah, and so we have to walk through the desert with the heavy bags of money, limited water.
Yeah,
and,
speaking of water, what type of water did Mike have? That was a good segue. I like the segue. Thank you, Brown Myth. Segue when it came to what Jimmy had to drink when it came to being in the desert because he was lacking water.
Well, it becomes an ongoing thing, but yeah, well, they both running low on water, Mike and Jimmy, and Mike was getting low on water, and then they were trying to share the water, and Jimmy wanted more, and they said, if you want any more, drink your pee, because he had a bottle of maybe a quarter full of urine.
Yes.
So he had to drink his pee, and I don't know if Mike got to that point or not, but he seemed like he was.
I don't know.
But we know that Jimmy was and of course that goes back to when Jimmy was, kind of not conservative with his water, and it came back to haunt him, and that was probably the point of the whole beginning. But as we get further, I mean, we see that when Jimmy has the lips with the dry lips, and you can.
Oh yeah,
and the makeup was awesome because you can tell that it looked like they were dry and they were cracking. And if you've ever had those dry lips, you're like, oh my God, it makes you want to drink even if you're not thirsty because you see it and you know that. Oh wow! So what do you think?
Yes.
That was a good makeup job, wasn't there, Jay?
I agree. That was. You can really feel the feeling that they were just so dehydrated and not getting enough water in the system, and in that verge of totally in that verge of dying. I mean, they were in a stage of total dehydration that they were gonna lose it and just say, "Oh, I give up. This is just too much. That's too much."
Okay, so anyway, so after they finally get home, and yeah, but he comes home and he is burnt to a crisp.
Yeah,
I mean, out in the desert, no protection really, just for the clothes, but his face, everything, and and plus we find out. Anyway, let's go. But anyway, he does have some issues from the gun battle that haunt him, and PTSD, right? Is that it? Post traumatic syndrome. Yeah, he does have that from the gun battle because he's still suffering from that. And Kimmy
yes,
realizes that something happened, and he's not, he's just not the same, man. He just so
exactly, exactly.
and so she tries to take care of him. He doesn't want it. He thinks he's okay. And so anyway, after so we gotta try to get through season 5 so we can get to season 6. But maybe we'll
I
go through
know.
season 1 and then just skip the last episode of season 5, and then because people want to know what happened in between, they can watch it themselves. But we're trying to so
Like condense it as much as we can.
but there were things in episode 1 that start the origin for everything else. So Kimmy wants to help, and so he drops off the money, and Kimmy goes, "Well, did you do it?" And he goes, "Yeah, it took him a while to count it." Can you imagine sitting there counting $7 million, even with I wonder if they had multiple counting machines.
It looked like it. I remember when he put those bags in front of the lady and told her, "This is the bail for Mr. Guzman," and Mr. Guzman said that, or I should say, the lady said $7 million in cash. It's like, yep. And then they showed, I think they blocked it for a second, and then they showed the reels of different people doing it in the back. And then I think the attorney and I think one of the detectives came in and saw them with that and saying, "What is going on? How could your client have $7 million in cash, Mr. Guzman?" They were totally shocked. I remember that. They were totally shocked. It's like they couldn't believe it. How could a man have that much money in cash? Something was up. They felt like something was up with this Guzman character.
So another comment from Alicia. I've been
Yes.
to Kuwait airport for 5 hours. Does that count as the desert?
Yes.
It's the only place where I ever saw a camel upside down.
Huh? What?
Upside down. Was it
A
hanging
camel?
upside down, or was it on the ground upside
What
down?
the hell were you doing, Aisha?
Oh my! Or is that part secret? So we don't want to have you getting in trouble.
It's
We
it's a
don't want the king
conspiracy.
to come to your house.
She did work for Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah. So number one, that first episode was set up a lot of things, and so let's just skip ahead to the last episode in season 5. That way we don't want to go over season 5 because we're going to do that in depth for season 6. We might as well just skip ahead so we can set up season 6 with the last episode of season 5. So
Okay.
how did that grab you, Jay? I mean, how did that episode start out?
It started out, I believe. I mean, it kind of lingered from the Bagman episode and lingered into how they were actually in the situation with Lalo, and it was kind of like a combination of what Lalo was in a situation. I think after they gave him the money, or he got bail. I should say it this way: the bail came through, and he was going to actually decide on going back to Mexico and pretty much just live out there because he didn't want nothing because he was convicted for murder, and he just didn't want to be around because they might try to find out what's going on with the $7 million. So he's like, let me just leave town. So
I mean, I'm talking about the last episode of season 5.
Oh,
I want to skip ahead, and then so we don't because we're going to spend 7 weeks on season 5 instead of season 6.
True.
So, and I
But
mean,
so you're talking about.
I guess we should. I guess I should have said. I guess I should have known this could have happened. The way we are fans of the show, that
Yes.
this could happen. But let's just go over the final season of season 5. So next time we can start into season 1.
Okay, and you're discussing
season 6, episode 1.
Six.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and go to the last episode, and because we set up some of the characters, but go ahead, and we had the last episode start, because this was after. If you want to go back real quick, this is after the cartel hit, when they hit the cartel, when Fring hit him, and now they thought they killed Lalo, but he's still alive and kicking. But anyway, how did that last episode start out?
The last episode. So you're talking about after Lalo was actually in his home, and then not Mr., but Nacho actually opened the door to let the snipers come in to kill Lalo.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think that was because that was the ending, and I think it ended where Lalo was walking towards the camera, and with this very stern look on his face that I'm going to kill.
I'm sorry, I might have confused myself. What episode are you talking about right now?
That was the ending of episode 5.
Well, let's go. Oh yeah, you're right, because Fring hit the cartel. Nacho was supposed to let him in because remember he's the double agent, and they came in, and in true Mexican fashion, there was an escape tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Lalo used to escape. Sorry, Raj. Sad but true. And but anyway, they had an escape tunnel. It was a cartel hideout. They had to be prepared for an escape. And as far as you know, he might have been.
I mean, duck my head.
I'm gonna hide too. I'm sorry. Any comments on Mexican tunnels there, Marajo? Any kind of admonishment that you want to make? Oh, really? Well, good night, Alicia. It's midnight there over across the pond, and she's going to.
Thanks for coming out.
She's going to be thinking about Cosmo. So, So all that was taking place. What else?
Yes.
Go ahead, Jay.
But I believe that was kind of how season 5 ended, in the perspective of us knowing where Lalo was going to do. He had like a lot of things he wanted to do because he knew it was Gus. He knew. I mean, even though I think the other Salamancas really didn't know how Gus is as far as trying to kill Lalo, but Lalo knew that. I mean, he knows that Gus was the one that set up this heist of killing him at his own house, and then all these bystanders was in that house, not just like the army people. I mean, not army people, but his guys. But it was mothers and cousins, and I mean that was really sad part about it.
Killed too, man.
Yeah.
And now Nacho's on the run because Lalo probably thinks, okay, Nacho might have been in on this because Nacho ran too. I don't know at this point he knew what Nacho's involvement was, because Nacho
he knew after that.
Yeah, because Nacho got sidetracked when Lalo was out having a drink, saying, "Oh yeah, we're both night owls." So they're having a conversation, and Nacho's like, "Maybe I got to open the door. What do you?"
Exactly.
So he finds a way to get away. So I think that. So, was there any Jimmy stuff on that in the last episode?
I think it was more just the idea of Lalo going back. I think that was the premise of him going back. But I can't remember in that last episode of season 5 anything with Jimmy. I think he was just relieved that I think one thing that was important is that Jimmy was talking to Mike and trying to find out, is Lalo is Lalo going to come back after me after him coming
'cause at the
out?
episode where Jimmy wanted answers from Mike.
Yes,
He
and
wanted
he
to know what was
banged on his
going on,
door.
and Mike was trying to
Yeah,
tell him, "You don't need to know. You don't
right,
need to know.
exactly.
It's not your
Like, no,
job to know. If we want you to
exactly.
know, we'll tell you." And Jimmy's like, "Oh, come on. I'm in the middle of this. Come on." And
Exactly.
he has a point. Well, because you got to understand that actually Jimmy tracked down Mike's house and he wasn't happy about this. He's like, "How did you
No,
find me? And what are you doing?" Because, Jimmy's not, because anyway, it was funny. He tracked him down and Mike wasn't too happy about this. And then Jimmy's like, "How
no,
does it
show
feel?
us.
How does that feel?" Because Mike would find him wherever he was. So it's like,
Mhm.
so
Exactly.
yeah, that was
And I
an
think he
important
told
thing too.
him that he was going to die that night. That he was going to die. That
Yeah, you don't
Lalo,
have to
you don't
worry about that
worry
You don't have
about
to
it.
worry about him anymore after tonight. And I
Exactly.
think Jimmy
And I
was
think
probably kind of relieved to hear that because he didn't know how much time he had. Oh my gosh, you're right.
exactly.
That was an important part of that season too, because and as we've said, Lalo did not end up dead, so things aren't as So Jimmy still has things to worry about going into the next
Yes,
season.
exactly. And just like he mentioned about Lalo mentioned to Jimmy about that phrase of being friends with the cartel. It's like, and he asked him that, are you going to be friends with the cartel? Or are you going to be a snitch? And
Yeah, when Lalo
Jimmy
said
grabbed
that,
his
yeah,
side.
we knew what that meant.
Hmm.
And
Exactly.
Jimmy goes, "Oh yeah, those two things, yeah, the cartel, they're my buddies."
Hmm. So that was his kind of input of his decision on, okay, I got to do this. And I think money got involved with him in his mindset too, because that's
Yeah.
one of the episodes in season 5 was called LMM. And it could be so many different things, but actually one time it meant let's make money. And that's what Mr. Lalo told Jimmy when he saw the suitcase in one of the episodes, the suitcase that had LMM, and Lalo said, "I'd like to make that different. Let's say let's make money." So
That was in
that's
his
what
briefcase, but he kept it anyway.
exactly for his own name.
Yeah, he said, "Well, I'll just make up something, which is the easier way than trying to buy it." Okay, well, just make it mean something else, and that's what he did. And real
Yep.
quick here, that Jimmy did get a kickback from the $7 million.
Yes. Yep. He did. He did. And that
I don't know how
leads
that.
into the next season.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking that I don't know if that was legit or not. I don't, because I don't know if
I
Jimmy
think it
can put
was.
that. I don't think if Jimmy can put that down as a fee. I made $2 million. I made 105. Whatever. I don't know how much he made, but it was a big bag of money, which him and
Yes,
Kim dug into for a long time. But it
it
finally. But
did. And I
so
think it was somewhat of a fee that would lure Jimmy into going out there to do the bag, to be the bag man. Because I think he was going to walk away, and then I think he mentioned, I think Lalo or Mr. Guzman mentioned to him that a certain amount of money for the fee, and Jimmy had that look like, oh, that's a good amount of money. Okay, I'll be the bag man, and that's what we we talked
yeah,
about that already about what happened to him. But I think that lured him into it, and that's what the extra money was when
yeah, that might
they got
yeah,
the money.
that could have been another place where maybe this isn't such a bad deal after all, and but he was already being an ambulance chaser by then. Uh, so we work up into the last episode of season 5, and it's mostly like you said, Lalo getting away from the hit, and he knows who did it, and now he's on his way back to America. And Nacho is running for his life because he kind
Hmm.
of thinks now he has a target on his back. And we all
Everybody,
know that being a double agent has its bad side, because if you get caught by either side, I think in Fringe, and we got to also realize that in season 5, we did see Fring's actual more evilness, and he was willing to sacrifice Nacho because Nacho wanted out, and Mike was trying to say, we should release the kid. He's
yeah,
done what he told us, blah blah blah. And Fring's like, no, we got to keep him. He's, I think Fring was afraid if they let him go that he would talk to somebody. So, or maybe they were afraid someone else would recruit him. And so, but and anyway, because Nacho was scared because Fring had a gun to his, to his father's head. I mean, he was using that against him to make him stay in line. I mean, this wasn't a really nice situation. Fring was not his buddy. Well, Fring was probably not anybody's buddy. I mean, I think after his friend was killed, he didn't really want to have any more attachments. He was like, he had this tunnel vision. I want visions. I want to kill the Sacamanas. I don't care what I have to do, how many years. Because this was talk about the long game when it comes to Fring. Holy crap, 20.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And how long it probably remember how long it probably took him to find? Oh no, we can't go that. That's the Breaking Bad thing. Doesn't matter. But finding his chemist, what's his name that helped him build the lab, and I can't remember his name, but it doesn't matter. But remember, I know
who you're talking about. I forgot his name too.
We're gonna take some memory pills. I don't know what's going on. But I think we have so much knowledge going through our head concerning all these series that we lose track of what we have too much knowledge. That's the problem. We have too much knowledge.
We can't sort it. Which is a good thing when it comes to the Breaking Bad universe.
We have too much knowledge. You do too. That's why you have no hair. And well, look at Jay. I mean, look how much knowledge Jay has. I mean, see, I have little knowledge because I still have some hair left. So, okay, let's get to the end of season 5. The last episode, the scene you were talking about, where
that was the end.
Lalo runs out, and all we see is him coming. And the thing about the actor Tony Dalton playing Lalo is that he had those eyes. I don't know if he did those. If he had to act to get those eyes, if that's his acting thing, or if they're naturally like that. If those eyes are naturally like that, everybody probably fears him as soon as he walks into a room as Tony.
Exactly.
Let alone Lalo. I mean, look at this guy. He has those, and he did have one of those bandanas, and it made me think he would make a good Western villain.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he sure did have that.
He had that look. He didn't have to have. He just had those eyes, and you knew that he was in a Western. He was the badass.
Exactly.
So
I would say him and Gus Fring were really good with their facial expressions. I mean, Gus Fring, he had it down to a science on his facial expression. He wouldn't even say a word. I know.
There was really no holes in that cast. I mean, everybody did their shit, man. I mean, there really was. Even the extras that they got from New Mexico didn't drop the ball. Exactly. Oh my gosh! I mean, this thing. I mean, that's one of the things about this show, and the casting is they found the right people to pull off these characters, and I'm sure these characters added things to it. But my gosh, I mean. That was the beauty of it. These characters, these actors, they pulled off a motherload on everything that Vince Gilligan has done. And going back to the X-Files. I mean, come on. We're not going to, give the man some credit, this dude, and there's other help. He had help too, but I'm just saying this is one of his brainchilds, But anyway, so he walks off. And that's what we see. He has the evil eyes. We know that he's out for blood now, and who knows who he's going to kill next. You got to remember, this man would rather kill you than talk to you. He didn't like, he didn't know if you're going to get shot. This is the guy you didn't want behind you. That's for sure.
And I think one thing I forgot to mention, which it's important too to lead into season 6, is the part with all that shooting was going on, where Lalo went to one of the assassins that was aimed to kill him, tell on the radio that he was dead. Tell the people that was assigned to kill Lalo, tell them that they did their job. And that was very important because that's what led everyone's their guard, put their guard down a little bit because they felt Lalo was gone and everything is back to normal. All the Dons would be okay and everything is good. All the money is going to be good and the Chicken Man's going to be doing his thing. So everyone kind of had that little ease of comfort after that man told him that he was dead.
Yeah,
So they
right.
kind of leads into season 6 where
And that,
Lalo dead.
yeah, and that guard, that was the one that he threw the grease on. So when he pulled down that mask, and you could hear it and you can see it, that
Oh
you
yeah,
could feel
oh
that he was peeling
crunch.
off that mask off of that grease burn. You're like, oh, come on, oh wow, you felt it,
Yeah, yeah,
you felt it along with him, and that was another good piece of acting, another good piece of good makeup going on there.
very good. Oh,
And
they
that
were king
actor
of makeup.
sold it. That guy, so I mean, probably the only part. I mean, he had a part in that show, not a big part, but he played it. But he took that advantage, and he just said, "Look, I'm like," and he gave it. At least he gave it his best shot, and it worked. Like I said, there was no really hole. When it came to the cast, there really were no holes. I mean, everybody
Oh,
all around, and that's why it was so successful. And the writing was
exactly.
excellent. And we talked about this real quick. We talked about this. There's not an episode that's a waste. Every episode had something important to say to drive the plot. You find out things more. You find out things more and more about the other characters. There's nothing wasted in this.
No,
And having
no,
6 seasons of non-wasted episodes, that is an amazing accomplishment. Wouldn't you say, Jay?
I would say 1%. I agree. I mean, it really definitely leads to the writings and the producers and the directors that was involved in all the seasons, to make this whole universe of Better Call Saul in perfection. I definitely agree.
Yeah. Brown Meth. Did you see anything? Did you see Better Call Saul, or was that something you didn't really stream yet?
I have not seen it to its entirety. I intend to be catching up as we move forward, but I have seen quite a bit of Better Call Saul.
So from what you've seen, do you agree that this was a very good series? I mean,
did you not see me nod? Did you?
Oh yeah,
not?
I see you nod, but yeah, okay. I didn't know if you were nodding because you were having a good snack or not, so I didn't know what was. But wow, so
I better get down again.
Real quick, Roger always
Oh.
likes this. Roger always wants this to be done. We are now entering our second hour of Better Call Saul rewatch. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and tag that notification bell so you don't miss any of our exciting, pulse pounding, breaking shows in the future.
And if you'll check
Yes.
under the columns and everything, you now have a folder and you have banners, and I've been working on them. And look, I even put a little tiny little graphic I came up with.
Yeah, well,
Rich and Jay review season 6.
Well, real quick, before we came on, I got some stuff to put on because I mean, when I got out into the thing, we had the free comic book thing. Oh, I got to find some Better Call. So I got the logo real quick and put it in there. But I was going to do more before the next show. But I'm glad that you actually went for it, huh? Awesome.
I did some
great.
things for you.
Okay, but
awesome.
So it's up to you. I mean, we've done an hour. And Jay, do you want to continue, or do you want to just call it a day and wait and continue next week?
Maybe I'm thinking that the suspense of people and maybe getting people to watch the show and give them this little tease of what we talked about for season 5 leading into season 6. Hopefully that would lead them to for everyone to watch the next week episode of us talking about the first episode of season 1, which is juicy and it's something looking forward to because it really leads right. Yes, it really leads into the last season 5 leads perfectly into season 1. It's like almost didn't even stop. It just kept on going, and we gotta find out what's going to happen to all the characters. So I'm thinking maybe let everyone see if they can have an opportunity to watch the season episodes and if they have any comments.
Okay, fair enough. It's been a big hour. We went through season 5 really fast, but this is about season 6. And if you want to get to 5 to get to 6, that's fine. But anyhow, we will call it a day. And thanks for everybody joining us. Thanks for Alicia for the comments.
Yes, thank you so much.
everybody that's watching in the other platforms and chat rooms. Oh my gosh, we appreciate it. And like I said, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. And with that, I'd like to say bye. Any last words, Jay?
Once again, thank you everyone for watching and hear us enjoy the season 5, and looking forward to everyone continue watching and as us discuss all the episodes in our feelings and emotions and comments. So thank you guys.
Any last words, Brown Meth?
As a matter of fact, thank you, gentlemen, and congratulations, Jay, on your first official debut. You were on audio several times already, but now your video, the whole world knows who you are now. But all kidding aside, just kidding. All kidding aside, Jay, a long way that you've come, buddy. From the time I met you to where you are now, man. Seriously.
I know.
I appreciate it too, Jay, for joining me, someone you barely know.
Thank you.
I'm here because of both of you. I'm going to be catching up on my Better Call Saul, and I'm looking forward to it. So I just want to know what you're going to do for the title, because this episode is called Better Call Saul Season 6, Episode 1.
Well, the next one will be A.
Actually, it might just be Episode 2. Not necessarily covering Episode 2.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
You never know.
But we did tell people at the beginning that we may spend most of the time, that this could last the whole episode going through 5, and it did. So I know that it says 1, but we'll figure that out. We have a week to figure that out, Raj.
Please give us a like and subscribe, folks. The old man, me included, need to know. And head on over to ndbmedia.net as you'll see all the programming for everything that we have going. It looks like this episode will be debuting. Well, it has debuted, but it will be at 3 p.m. on Sundays for the time being. Don't forget to watch. We are making plans for a Breaking Bad rewatch all the way through. So that one's going to take a while. We're going to have to see what we're going to do on that one.
We talked about that last night, and we thought, well, that might take us into next year.
Oh, it's going to be a while. So we're going to see what we're going to do, whether we're going to do 1 episode or 4 or 2 or 3 per episode. We'll see.
That's true. We don't have to do 1 by 1, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I do want to let you know that, again, at ndbmedia.net, there is quite a bit going on. And tomorrow, Samantha Glassner of the Ark will be joining us on May 8th. And then on May 22nd, Christy Burke on the 21st. Donia Cash will be on the 22nd. Ben Emanuel will be on the 29th. And we've already confirmed Skyla Elise, who I believe is the first week in June. But check it out. A lot of programming going on. Again, I thank Jay. I thank Richard. And appreciate it, folks. ndbmedia.net. And a lot of programming will be coming your way.
Exactly.
Yes.
Blood for blood.
Oh.